controls the entire media landscape in the country. I mean, the president of the Press Union of Liberia, Mr. Julius Kanumba, is our guest today. And look, the topic today going to be very fascinating, as usual. Mr. Gibson Jeru is here as he have this one-on-one interview with the president of the Press Union of Liberia. So we're going to be looking at the recent statement or allegations being leveled against media practitioners by the RG of police. So the Press Union have taken a very key decision. So the president is here today to inform the public about that. So in a subsequent time, I'm going to be turning over to Mr. Gibson Jeru as we kickstart this conversation. But keep glued and don't forget to play the cash giveaway as we go along on the show to give you more money while you listen. Those of you listening across Moserado, across the 15 political subdivision of Liberia, I want to say hats up to you. Again, my name is Achise Bob Yene, and this is the Roundtable. We'll take this break very shortly and be right back. Again, welcome back, and let me say good afternoon, Mr. Jerome.
Good afternoon, Archie, and good afternoon, Julius, my good friend there. Old journalist. I'm not a new journalist, so he's an old journalist. So we're going to talk old journalism and mix it with some new journalism. I mean, those of you who are listening to us, if you're on your pen, you are in your keke and you are driving and you are listening to me, we want to say welcome to you. We have a very important discussion today because we are talking about the media, and I brought the main person who is the head of the media people in Liberia. It's very important that we hear from him. As you know, recently there was a 72-hour ultimatum given to the IG to name journalists or to provide evidence of how many journalists or how they got money or were influenced by the drug cartel. And the IG has now responded. Julius, welcome.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to form part of your important platform at this particular time.
You can pull it to you if you think it's good that way.
It's good to see you. Since you are arriving in the country.
Yeah.
President is not aware that you are in Liberia.
I passed by your office and so we'll come here to say hi to my man. Yes. But Julius, we talk about what we came here for. But first of all, how's the landscape? How's the media landscape? What's your assessment? Are we making progress, or are we somewhere stagnant, or are we going backwards? What is it?
Well, the media landscape is a combination of different factors that are interplaying in terms of how the media operates within the country.
Correct.
Pluralist, polarized media landscape or media system, so to speak, where you have different ownership structures.
Yes.
You have the government-owned media entities.
Yes.
You have the private, commercial, operated media. You also have the politically controlled
media institutions.
You have community media. Also, you also have now where you have stand-alone journalists.
Yes, citizen journalists
online.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a combination of different factors. In terms of professionalism, yes, to varying extents, the media in Liberia can be deemed as professional. And by professional, we are referring to the mainstream media, those journalists who do follow the ethical code of journalism.
Yes.
Those media institutions that have some level of gatekeeping. And by gatekeeping, we are referring to the editorial process.
Yes, you have an editor, then you bring your story, the editor decides
So,
whether it is well written or it should.
Yes, so it's not just a journalist, one journalist or one person with a phone, and then with an online platform, Gibson Jeru online TV, Julius Kanumba online TV, Achi online TV. No, we are referring to journalists because the act or the practice of journalism requires some form of editing. It does not require one person. You can't be a one-person journalist.
You write your thing, and somebody you see run-on sentences, they publish their stuff.
Somebody will have to see it. So if you analyze the media landscape within that framework, you tend to know that, yes, there are some independent media institutions that remain independent in their operating. By independence, again, we are referring to the quality of editorial practices. Mind political project or political agenda. You also have community media, like I said, and in the community media sector, you have radio stations that have been established as a result of development interventions by donors or by politicians.
Especially like these county, county-wide.
So you have them that are operating, and people who are working there, they are all volunteers, right? Mostly they don't receive pay. But you also have media that exists in the communities, meaning you have community media, you have media that exist in the community. And those media that are existing in the communities outside of the community radio stations, because the community radio stations are owned by the community.
Yes.
But the media, some that are operating in the communities, especially
they call it National Media Institution. That's that's the nomenclature they gave us.
They are mostly owned by politicians and people of vested interest. So we were doing a survey recently. Close to 200 radio stations are operating across the length and breadth of Liberia. 200 radio stations, broadcast entities. In terms of the newspapers, I mean, you are one of the persons who essentially practice in the print media. You have close to 50 newspapers that are coming up, some weekly, some monthly, bi-weekly, periodically. You have them coming up. There are some established newspapers that come up always, right? And then the television stations, you will have between 3 to 6.
Yeah.
But they are
not too strong.
Not too strong in terms of the financial position. So what is happening that has transformed the whole media landscape is the issue of online platforms, social media networking sites, out of Twitter, Facebook. Especially Facebook is popular in Liberia amongst people who are practicing journalism. So you have countless number of people who are journalists, citizen journalists, amateurs who are practicing journalism.
And Julia, we're not condemning anybody here, but the press union has a membership drive. I mean, membership kind of that goes on. People become member of press union, and the press union speak on your behalf. And all of these people, if they went out there and they get into trouble, you still have to talk for them, even if they are a member of press union.
Yeah, that's correct. The press union is a social justice institution.
Correct.
That's the foundation. The way how the press union was formed was to protect freedom of speech and expression.
Yes.
Was to also advance the development of greater democracy in Liberia, enforce ethical standards in journalism. So whether you are a journalist or not, whether you are a member of the PUA or not, the press union will have to advance your rights.
Yes.
We have to.
If somebody is trying to trample on you,
fine.
The press union will stand up.
And sometimes
do they have any responsibility to come in and become members? Can the press union do something about it?
Yes, I'm not too sure who you are referring to.
The citizen journalist, for example. I see a lot of people with phone in their hand and they are journalists now.
On the question of the citizen journalists, the membership of the PUL is structured in a way that we have 4 membership categories. You have the full membership, the FULL.
Yes.
Those are people that can vote and be voted for.
In
some instances, some of the full members can vote, but they can't be voted for. That is, if you were a journalist proper who has obtained a bachelor's degree in journalism, communication, or media, and you practiced with that degree from an accredited university or institution for 2 years, you are eligible for the full membership. Or let's say you did something outside of the media or journalism. You practice with your undergraduate degree for 3 years, you can hold full membership. Or the other way, if you've not gone to any university, you practiced journalism for 5 years. Yes, with a recognized.
The rules are still the same.
Yes, in accredited media, you are eligible for the full membership, right? So that is one category. The second category is the associate. So all of the requirements for the full membership, if you don't meet
then you are
requirements, you are associate as long as you are a journalist who is working with a recognized and accredited media. Then we have the category of affiliates.
So let's put it this way: I didn't go to university. I didn't go to any journalism training, but I am been practicing for 4 years.
For 4 years,
I cannot be a full member.
Full member. That's it.
Correct.
Practice for
5
under 5 years.
You can be full member.
Full members, right? Then you come to the affiliate. The affiliates, the membership of affiliate is for people who are working within the media industry. They are not journalists. For example, at Blaze FM, where things are blazing, right? You have your accountants,
yes,
maybe financial person,
yes,
human resource person,
business manager.
They are eligible because they work in the media industry. Anything that happens to them, the president will have to get
because
involved.
they work in a media institute. Is registering with
media related organizations. Perfect. So the concept about citizen journalists is
new.
Not embedded within the constitution of the PUL. But also, it's good to also regulate them because as part of development interventions in the media in Liberia, for example, bloggers, citizen journalists, they are defined as also journalists because one of the rulings of a court in the United States, which of course cannot be subjected 100%
to
Liberia or to other countries, is that anyone who collects and publishes an information is a journalist because that's a traditional practice of journalism. But in the context of Liberia, we are recognizing people who are working with mainstream media
institutions. And got a gatekeeping process.
Yes,
editors
so,
and
now that's where the issue of the press union comes in, the salience of the press union. How can we identify someone as a professional journalist? To be identified as a professional journalist, you must adhere to the ethical code of journalism. And that ethical code is manufactured or made by the PUL. And the PUL is a membership, not just the institution. So to call Gibson Jeru, who practiced journalism substantially in Liberia, as the analyst, the public agenda, and other media entities or professional journalists, he has to be in compliance with the core ethics. From time to time, we speak about the responsible use of the media because the media, this is our sector. Anything that happens, right? So, oh no, we heard it on the media. So, which media? It could be social media, it could be the mainstream.
And people don't know the difference between that.
No,
there are some people they just consider everybody journalist.
That's the point, and this is something that is undermining journalism.
It is embarrassing,
especially in the broadcast sector. Today, somebody will have a telephone. And the person goes on Facebook doing live commentary.
And they are journalists.
The grammar, it's very problematic.
They have scum.
Sometimes,
I usually say that if I hear any they have scum, you can.
Sometimes the questioning and it can be problematic because they are not trained.
Somebody asked one question and gave whole paragraph.
Yes.
And they almost answer their own question in their question.
Yeah,
so Julius, today media should be, I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, I think the media today is more educated than the media those days.
I agree with you 100%. The media, I did a study of journalism in Liberia. I read substantially other writings about the evolution of the media and from time to time, from a period of time, right? So the media in Liberia presently, right, especially in the post-war era, the post-conflict period, the development period, is more educated in terms of the number of persons. But the quality is also another thing.
Yeah,
right.
I agree. I agree.
The guys, people like you who practice in the past, maybe in the 90s or early 2000s, you are very critical of the present media.
Yes.
Right. But if you look at those who are practicing in the, let's say, 80s, the 70s, the 60s, when the press union was formed, or going way back, they will tell you that they were not as highly educated
Yeah.
as we
Some
are
of them
now.
high school
But
graduate.
that gatekeeping
Yeah.
process, that
Yeah.
apprenticeship, right, the entry level was
You were
guarded.
subjected to scrutiny.
Got it,
What kind
right.
of story you bring in? Who
Yes,
makes the decision
yes.
for the story to get out
For,
there?
like for us who entered journalism in the early 2000s or in the mid 2000s, so to speak, when Charles Siddle was still in the country.
Yes, yes.
Practice radio at ELBC. It took 2 years before you got on air.
Yeah.
Because your
I
voice
was,
alone.
they deliberately humiliate us. I was
Yes.
reporter in training
Yes.
for almost 2 years.
Call you
Then they call me cop reporter.
cop
But
reporter.
cop reporter and reporter in training is the same thing. Then
Yes.
I'll be cop
cop
reporter again.
reporter.
And then before they become reporter.
So sometimes when you go somewhere, they say, "Oh, you cop reporter," it means
Yeah.
you have cop on your heel or what? But it is actually CUB rather than CUP, right? And so the point there is, if you ask contemporary young people who are practicing the media, say, "Oh, Julius, you think the way how you people suffer to enter journalism,
How is
that how we should suffer too? It can't hold, right?" And sometimes they are saying it in good faith, but some of the negative aspects are that one, the training is not too strong.
it's not strong. But
Right.
even though, look, I'm happy that we have, apart from the University of Liberia, we have other university or colleges, and then we have like Jonathan Pilide School of Journalism, Peter Cricket School of Journalism. I mean, journalism, pilot school institutions. Even if they are not going far, at least they provide a basic training
Yes.
to people who want to enter the profession.
Yes, I am one person after coming to Liberia because I was also on an academic pursuit in Europe for a substantial period of time and then in South Africa. When I came down, I've been volunteering my services. For instance, at the University of Liberia, where I serve as an adjunct faculty. The Pediatric School, I've been practicing teaching there also, and on a regular basis, voluntary level. Nothing but sometimes you can even lose because of transportation.
Yeah, you gotta transport yourself.
Gasoline prices.
I thought of
So-
volunteering something too. So yeah.
So yes, the media is educated. We have college educated journalists. When I did a survey in 2017, while I was studying at Wits University in South Africa, I spoke with about 100 journalists about how do we conceive the roles of journalists in society and whether those roles compare with how other countries' journalists do see their roles. And you could see the Liberian journalists that we interview, they have similar conception about their roles that they practice in Liberia. But again, saying one thing, knowing it from universities or from your education or from your experiences could be different from what you actually practice, right? But you can see that journalists in Liberia, they are knowledgeable about journalism.
I
And they
think
are
journalists today are
educated,
educated.
right?
I mean,
And-
they just need to fix themselves
Yes.
and focus
Yeah,
on the
one of-
real things.
One of the aspects of Liberia we have to address is this issue of the welfare of journalists. The entry level of journalism can be taken care of if, for instance, Bliss FM has been established. Who do you recruit? And if you are recruiting, how much are you offering? Because one of the challenges
Exactly.
is that
You're right.
is that if you don't pay well,
Yes.
the possibility of having the professional staff, or you can have the professional staff, but to adhere to professional standards can be difficult.
Even to
right?
control them is difficult.
It can be difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard some journalists who are in the field, reporters say, "Oh, people sent us in the field. They say anything, and
You will survive on what we get."
Yes, and it can be very problematic. Chief, we read the constitution of the PU, the core ethics, to a group of journalists who cover the LNP, the Liberian National Police, because we're having a training.
Yeah.
Tom Buston Mombo, the former Secretary
yes,
General
yeah,
leader of
yeah.
the PUL that all of you practice
Yeah.
together, was one of the facilitators. So one of the young journalists said, the Press Union Constitution, the core ethics, I mean, it's outdated. Because, for instance, warning...
So the Constitution of Liberia is outdated.
Yeah, so no, this doesn't happen in contemporary.
Yeah.
I mean, the contemporary media is this sort of a fast speed. You have to publish before you get the side of the other person.
No.
No, that's not journalism.
That's not true.
Yes, and this is a challenge, and this challenge can only be tackled if we take care of the salaries, the benefits, And then how can we make the profession noble? It's always noble, right? I mean, it is already noble.
Yeah.
But then to really feel that nobleness,
you got to take care of
that nobility,
yes.
you have to. If you recruit, I mean, some people, they still have this sort of nostalgia for Star Radio, for the Democrat of
yes.
the old,
yes.
right? For Daily Observer, perhaps, right? And they still have that thinking that yes, there were some comprehensive, investigative, took time to follow stories. But again, sometimes such is the condition.
I really think that I think we'll have a lot of work to do, and I think you guys are doing very, very well to follow through. But so let's go to the main topic. You don't have a lot of time, and I know you had a meeting yesterday. What are you hoping to achieve? I mean, giving the police director 72 hours, you don't have the police of your own, you don't have a military of your own to enforce 72 hours. So somebody asked you, how would the president of Liberia give the police 72 hours? You know, what are you hoping to achieve?
Well, the first thing is the 72-hour and what we hope to achieve, all of those things must be put in context.
Yes.
Our main aim is to ensure that professionalism within the media is upheld to the highest level. When there is not a claim but a pronouncement by the government of Liberia through the Joint Security Investigative Task Force,
correct,
to which the police is a part,
correct,
that it has established that the drug cartel has infused monies
into the media. And journalists are doing that
to change perspectives, to undermine the investigation.
That's a grave allegation.
The national security interests of Liberia. That is very, very grave for any country, for any profession to be linked to a drug cartel. Because if you read, if you follow President Boka when he took over, there was this issue of Kuch, zombies, what have you, that was devastating.
Spoke against it.
And he declared illicit drugs as a national emergency. If you check in the national security strategy of the government of Liberia that was just recently launched, it has identified the illicit importation or exportation of illegal drugs or substances as a national security threat. Now, the task force that was constituted has also identified the issue of illicit drugs as a national security threat.
Yes.
Now, in the face of that, there have been two different scenarios of recent in which the government, working through detectives and security forces, but also through the practice of journalism, right, has been able to uncover drugs at two different locations.
Yes.
At the airport and at that
and somewhere
area,
there.
The Marshall Belt or what have you. Right. So, if you have this drug that you have declared as a national security threat, and you are saying you want to dismantle the cartel, you are seeking the support of all Liberians, including the media. Now you come and say, well, the cartel we are attempting to, or we are fighting to dislodge and dismantle, that cartel is working in cahoot with the media to undermine the fight. So what are you really saying? Are you saying that you are unable to name those media institutions?
And it should be easy if you know.
So our goal is to request the police to help us as a country
identify
the media institutions so that we can hold those media institutions accountable. Because illicit drugs are considered a crime within the country. The issue of bribery also, to bribe a media institution to undermine or fight that has got linked to the sovereignty of the republic.
Yes.
Because, I mean, we've heard that Liberia has been called a narco state, or drug hub, for instance, right? So if you link the media or you link in the media institutions, it becomes problematic. So our request is very simple. It is intended to aid the very government in the fight against the cartel.
So that allegation
because,
undermines the
because,
media's ability.
because Gibson, let me ask you, um, have you received money from the cartel
No,
or as Blaze?
not at all.
But the saying now is the media. So anywhere you go, you identify yourself as a media
practitioner.
Say these are the guys
That the
in
people
cahoots
are getting money from the
with
cartel.
So that's sort of a
Undermine the
wildcat.
integrity,
Yeah.
and even forestall your ability to report effectively on the issue.
That's it. And we are not into any confrontation with anybody. And I should say this on the record, right? The IG has been very supportive of the administration and the PUL. On record, just recently we held World Press Freedom Day, the 3rd to the 4th of May in Margibi County. The IG, the police, we had a media dialogue between the press and the security and the apparatus. Right? He came, he spoke, he identified the media as a strategic partner. That if the work of the police, the operations of the police are to be achieved, then we have to work through the media. After that World Press Freedom Day, the IG, what he promised on the basis of a request by members of the PUL, we had a media security training program that I was referring to that Tom Winston Monk facilitated.
Yes.
So we've been interacting constructively. And this is a part of the constructive engagement. Because we don't want a scenario where a statement is made and the statement cannot be substantiated. It undermines the credibility of the person who is uttering the statement. It also undermines the fight against illicit drugs in the country.
Julius, if a police director who's supposed to have facts before he speaks says media practitioners are receiving bribe from the cartel to change the narrative, it is very serious. I would say that reckless statement. Would you say that?
Well, we said, I mean, by you leaving it very open, right? It amounts to being reckless. It amounts to also risking the lives
of
and
journalists.
safety of journalists. Because people who are against the cartel, for instance, they could be attacking media institutions. And you have citizens who may not be significantly media literate. They will call and say, oh, you journalists or media institutions, you are coordinating or working with the cartel. So if
and they could see a journalist walking maybe one corner and say, "I put who can get the money from the drug people."
You are holding the security and the apparatus accountable. People will say maybe that the cartel giving you
money to go
to hold Gregory Coma, the police RG.
So now they divert their whole attention from the main thing and the
so we're trying to avoid a situation where you have ambiguities or you have doubts. Because if you continue to have doubts in the media or in the police force, it undermines the credibility and integrity of the institution to perform effectively and efficiently, right? On the other hand, some people, like we heard in the meeting yesterday, said perhaps it is a distraction, so that we can be in this sort of a scenario. Then the main issue
and not pay attention to the main issue.
It could be the case. Well, but when the Joint Security says, because Gibson, we've kept emphasizing this issue because one, it is the Joint Security
straight.
Yes.
You want to identify the journalists who are doing this so that you can take action
collectively. Because
yes.
Because the issue of bribery is a
but the inability of the IG to name anybody, they say, I would expect that he was just recklessly speaking. He might not even have any evidence.
We can be confident enough that he was, because I know he sits at the echelon of the
investigation.
Because he
national
knows,
security too.
And he did not just say, the statements out of something, but he said he has been verified and established. And in journalism, anything that
verified and established,
it becomes a fact. It becomes a fact.
It becomes a
you
fact.
have that evidence. I mean, in the practice of law, in the practice of the court, you go to Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court has verified that you are wrong in the case, the Supreme Court was obviously come up with a verdict. So why is it that up to now the IG has not?
If I want to play a devil's advocate, I would say that the IG is on stress level has increased a few days.
Stress. No, the IG is a tactical person. You know, he was trained. I mean, he has been.
So he should be able to deal with
I mean,
stress.
he should. I mean, he deals with a force that is always, you know, I mean, very stressful. It's a hard, difficult job. And one of the things that some people have said, and which of course, I mean, everyone can debate, is that the RG is facing increasing pressure because the very officers that are under his watch are people, I mean, who have been implicated. Some of the people have been implicated, right? So it looks strange that you are in the security sector, you should be fighting drugs, and then your men, some of
Yes,
them,
and the journalists are supposed to assist you in furthering and exposing the people.
Then
So let me
you
just say,
are
there are a lot of actions that should be taken, maybe blackout, other things, and you are now consulting your lawyers, and that will give you an idea of where to proceed next.
Yes, from the meeting yesterday by the membership, which was massively attended. I think you saw the photo or you saw the
Yes.
pieces of evidence.
Yes.
The membership had two perspectives that we just summarized, which of course can be problematic when you just summarize the different perspectives that came out. One of the perspectives was that issue of media blackout, withdraw reporters from certain functionaries of the government, lead a protest. You know that you do not agree with the RG. He needs to come up with the evidence to show. The perspective was that let's embark on a constructive engagement in the sense doing a formal communication to the Minister of Information, the President, or the RG to further press for the evidence. Another perspective was that yes, you can do this in consultation with your lawyers because we did a public notice that the RG has made a statement and we do not agree with it, but we are requesting that he provides the evidence.
And you are consulting your lawyer to get a way forward.
Yes, so with these different perspectives, many said yes, the issue of blackout is one of the arsenals or one of the tools in the arsenal of the media. Protest is also one of the.
So the blackout,
tools.
if it were to be considered, I mean, we're not considering it now.
Yes,
because you are still. So
that
it's,
was ruled out.
That means
that should be
no independent journalist will write any stories from the IG or from the police.
No, it does not.
Is that the kind of blackout we're talking about? I mean, just in case they were considered.
I mean, there are different forms of blackouts.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Sometimes you come in black, for example. You come in black. You just publish black.
Yes.
Nobody will have access to news on that particular day. For instance, a Blaze FM is to get news at 6 o'clock or 7. The journalists say, no, we cannot give news because we are on a protest. So the public now put pressure on the RG or on the government to take certain actions in keeping with the demands of the media. But you don't want to use such a scenario because we are in a critical fight. I mean, the fight against the cartel, so to speak.
I know you don't have a lot of time.
Such a fight, if you are in such a fight, you don't want to deny the public access to
the information.
Secondly, you don't also want to sit and allow the government to be operating without accountability. The security people.
Well, you have a bigger job to do, man. I mean,
you also don't want the cartel to win because the more you expose information about the cartel perhaps is being dismantled. So the issue of blackouts, withdrawing reporters, protests, we put all of those stuff on.
It will be at the be at the benefit of the cartel.
Yes. So we said, I mean, the membership said, go and further engage your lawyers as a leadership.
Yes.
And what that means, I know people have been writing because sometimes when you use legal or lawyers, say, oh, you're going to court now.
Yeah.
It is not necessarily the case. To consult the lawyers means you engage the lawyers.
What is a legal perimeter?
Certain, parameters of understanding as to how to engage, right? Because, I mean, there have been many calls for dialogue, for instance. We are open to all remedies in order to have the pieces of evidence adduced so that we can be able to prosecute. If not, then some members of the union say, well, we consider the statement as a loose talk.
Yeah,
And you don't
loose
want to
talk.
say the police,
Yeah.
RG
Yeah, you
has
get-
given a loose talk. I mean, he's a president of
I
authority.
mean, you are a diplomat now. You're not going to say that,
yeah,
but
yeah.
all of media institute. I mean, media
yeah.
practitioner.
There's
can-
one saying, and this could come from the very public, that is listening. Say, oh no, but you, the journalists, the media, sometimes or always, you may be levying allegations against people. So now the RG2 has got the right to accuse you. You don't want a scenario of you accuse me.
They don't
I accuse
understand.
you.
They don't
Right.
understand that if the media is held in contempt, whatever comes from the media is not trustworthy.
Yes.
So we try to maintain that cleanliness.
Yes.
Even though not everybody will be correct, but we try to maintain that. And I think that's what you're gonna. So we're gonna the lunch shortly, maybe like 5 minutes, and see if we can get 5 calls. You wanted to say something? You wanted to ask a question? Or?
He responded to that because I was so
Okay.
I was so concerned about the next action of the president of Liberia because this is a grievant issue wherein the public itself has some level of doubt in the media because we as watchdog.
Believability.
Yeah, so they have that. And the RG, the police RG making such a statement to some extent validates what the public may perceive. And that's why it is necessary that serious action comes out. That's why I wanted to come, but you already stated that.
Yeah.
And we'll wait to see what next happens.
Yeah, let's go to the line. If you want to call and ask Julia some questions, it's
You can do
0777907 You got a second number?
Yeah, so the president of Liberia's president as it relates to the topic under discussion.
While we wait for call, Julius.
Let's get this person.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please know your name. Go ahead.
Good evening, gentlemen. My input in the discussion between you people in there is that the journalism right now is not everybody's professional. You people must be how they call it, governing the country, telling us what is unfolding. But other people in the corner there, they will be saying different things to the public that will bring chaos. So that thing the RG has said that the journalists, they are the one that supporting the cartel, or the journalists took money from the cartel not to be able to report the case. I want you to look at it professionally. Yes, you look at it professionally because when the old people got a power, when you run rope to a whole bush. So
Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Should I?
Can you hear me? Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You think if the RG knows hey, one of your members, Gibson, is doing this?
Excuse me. Well, I can't say that, and I can't say it is his doing, and I can't say yes.
Okay.
Somebody have told you anything about it, but maybe he's security.
Okay.
And maybe he's security, and he know what's going on. I may not know, you may not know, but he knows what is happening. But
All
maybe
right.
the way in which he said it was, for me, it was not professional.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Triple 7907907.
I think, Julia, we have a problem of believability from the public. Sometimes the public tend to believe government propaganda than even what the journalists write. And that's something we've been fighting with for years. And I think we haven't been able to win that battle yet.
No, we've been able to win the battle.
Oh, yeah?
Many Liberians do get their news, especially verified news through the mainstream media, right? Sometimes what we have in Liberia, of course, I mean, you are from the States.
Yes.
You have a sort of a political polarization.
Yes.
Wherein if a particular party is in government, people who support that particular party
they tend to downplay.
Do not want to believe what the journalists or media institutions are reporting. And then people who are not within the government, but in different in the political configuration, they tend to believe.
Yes,
so
I agree with that.
You can see that the guys.
You got a caller?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get it.
Julia, 1 minute.
Hello.
Yeah, how you doing, brother?
What is your name and where you come from?
I'm Prince Zulu calling from.
You gotta be audible, please. Increase your volume.
I'm Prince Zulu calling from Lower Magiri.
Lower Magiri, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the discussion and thank you for the studio guest. You know, and our people don't understand what is happening. Without a journalist, you will not get factual information. Without a journalist, you will not get to know what is happening in the community on a daily basis. So these people help us in the process to reveal some of the darkness that we are not even able to look at it on a daily basis. These things are happening, it is a journalist helping us in the process. Even those guys that were dismissed and later on arrested and some of them in the community, still in the community, it is the journalists that came up with their names. So why should we still be doubting our aid to say we don't know what journalists are doing? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, Julius, you're talking about you are winning.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are winning in the sense that, as this caller who just called, he's somebody who is media literate.
I think so.
Yes. I mean, Prince Zulu, right? I mean, imagine way in Lower Magibi. I know Lower Magibi is
pretty close to here.
Yeah, very close to here, right? So the point there is he struck one of the society. And what he has also said has been one of the arguments of the PUL, that through the practice of journalism, we've been able to mount significant pressure for the government to further investigate and to release the names of people. Because the media has been predating, has been reporting that some of these very people in the security sector, at the level of the airport, borders in the control, right, they are working with the cartel. And some of the predations that were made on the media,
and they came true.
They came true. And those some years are ridiculous, not yet established or verified. But it is the media that has been reporting. And before even the national security, the Joint Task Force can come out, the media has already got some facts. And when the security
already identifying people who might have culpability.
They do confirm these things. So yes, I agree with Prince 100%. Without the journalists, the society becomes dark, right? It'll be like in a night where you don't have no light. A lot of things will happen in Liberia, and then the facts will be contested. And when facts are contested, it means the society does not have a share. So the red becomes a fact for them. The blue becomes something of
it's not real.
Right. So to the first caller, yes, we agree with you. In terms of some of the points that you stated. But the issue that you can work with the security people because you don't want to haul rope then.
I think it's a flimsy excuse.
That thing that you said is a Zoe Bush or traditional way of thinking. That no, what you do, just work behind the scene. It's darkness. And what if you start to do that, it means you will never hold a rope because you are afraid that if we keep pressing, the RG may say it is Gibson Cheru or it is this media institution, then I will say, but it's one of us.
Let's go and see how we can correct it.
So let me get this call.
Yeah.
Hello, what is your name?
So I call from this. My name is Lawson Fatasha. I think the person spoke that
Please Just take your time or shake up from where you're standing. You come in very distracted.
Okay. Not better.
Much better. Go ahead.
Okay, good. So I expect for that to see journalists were brutality because they are now journalists telling all the daily basis so that we can be attacked. We should be discussing but not about talking about journalists or them circulating more information. If you know that you're circulating those radio stations, because some of us know that some radio stations owned by individuals we are so somebody affiliated with. So let me call those stations that we know about and talk about journalist brutality in our country too. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Julie, he was speaking to your point. There are some media institutions that are owned by politicians, and they toe the line of that politician. Some of them are owned by individuals who have political leaning or sympathize with the government, and there are some other independent ones. I think that's what he's trying to talk about.
Yes, it's true. And sometimes to us as a country, we need now to adapt to the media pluralism in our country. Gibson, you live in the United States. You've lived there substantially. You see that President Trump does not like certain segments of the media. Because
call them fake news.
Fake news. Those are
whether they are correct or not.
"Quote unquote" democratic leaning media, right? So you have to get used to it. You know, sometimes people can refer to Kings FM that is owned by President Weah, Yekla TV owned, named in honor of his wife. You have Freedom FM, you have Spoon Network. So sometimes besides this show that you are running at this particular time, maybe at 7 o'clock you have a news program.
Yes.
Another hour you have musical. So when you're saying Blaze FM is unethical, are you saying playing music?
It's also unethical.
You have to be specific. And this is what we admitted as a union or as a journalism community. We have not had a robust, proactive, institutionalized media monitoring system to which we are working to install. We've been discussing with one of our partners to see how they can be able to strengthen the PUL, to recruit the necessary staff, build capacity, and just take time. For instance, you say, okay, Blaze FM will monitor you for 1 month, right? This particular program that many people say, is good, or it is problematic, or it is between good and problematic.
Yeah,
we monitor you and we compare your, output.
Yeah.
To what is
acceptable.
Ethics,
yes.
What is acceptable or unacceptable. The quality of the program, right? So if we do it all the time, it becomes something institutionalized. Gibson Cheru or Blaze FM will know that, hey, there is a watchdog
that is watching us.
The watchdog.
Yes.
Because the media entities or journalists are considered as watchdogs of society. So we need that system. It is a fault. It is one of the weaknesses of journalism in Liberia, and that we've said openly, that we don't have that system of persistently monitoring our members. Some people can say, at this radio station, people are insulting. What is the PUL doing about it? Because right now, if they take a journalist or this media entity to court, the PUL will come in, right? It is a genuine criticism. It is a genuine observation. And sometimes, too, what we consider as insults, right, might not necessarily insult.
Because even if you say, the president lied, they say, the man insulted the president.
For example, in 2000, I think by that time you were very active. When President Sirleaf said journalists were pocketbook or checkbook journalists.
Yes.
The press union at the time, through the Secretary General, took a position that the president was frustrated. She spoke out of frustration. And people say, no, how can you say the president is frustrated? You are insulting a whole country president? He said she spoke out of frustration. Yeah, so again, the public started to bash at the PUL, right? But if somebody is speaking under disappointment, how you want to term it? And in 2010, when I traveled to the United States on a fellowship, I was watching CNN. One of the anchors or presenters was speaking to a member of the Congress and said, and the anchor or the news journalist told the member of Congress, excuse me, what you are saying is stupid. Your response is stupid. It does not make any sense. If you tell a Liberian politician,
if I call a lawmaker in this studio
that what you're saying is stupid,
and tell him what you're saying is stupid,
one of his supporters, our
They will storm this
society
place.
say, oh no, you are insulting an honorable person. So sometimes we have to be careful. We know words are used that we know clearly that it
Culture
insults.
plays a big
Yes.
role. Yeah.
So those are some of the points that we have to walk around. When the issue of Prophet Key, for instance, happened, right? We took a position that in as much we don't agree with him, right, in terms of the use of vulgar languages, insults, but you can't necessarily hold him on the issue of contempt of court, which is defined in law as different, right? There's something in the penal law of 1978, for instance, disorderly conduct. When you check in disorderly conduct, this issue of the use of abusive language on air, you can sue Julius Kanumba if you strongly believe that Julius sat at Blaze FM and he threw abusive language at you as an individual. Go to court. You sue me and I'll be able to answer to the court. And once you take me to court, the first thing I have to hire a lawyer
to
hire
defend
a lawyer to defend me, it requires resources.
And you as sue, you have a burden to prove.
Right? So all of these things, I mean, we have to work around these things to ensure, yes, that we have a media sector that is serving the interests of the public. Because one of the objectives of journalism is the issue of public interest, pursuing the public interest. The issue of drugs is a public interest matter. So when you say the cartel is infusing money into the media, right? I mean, it means the media is undermining the public interest.
Undermining the investigation.
I've read a publication from Verity newspaper, and sometimes, yes, in a much, they have their perspectives. Say, look, the mothers are losing children, right? Youth are being lost as a result of this issue of taking cocaine. A coach.
And this is not coach. Cocaine is a big, it's a grandfather of coach.
So if you look at the situation, I mean, Gibson, I mean, you were in town. I mean, where are the analysts? Go to the cemeteries these days. These are Liberian citizens.
I'm telling you.
And I mean,
I just drove by and I saw the place.
I'm like, who now operates the Liberian Investigator. He's been doing investigation on the issue of the consumption of drugs. Go and see. Right, so this is a public interest matter. So when you name or when you link institutions from a cartel, an illegal group, and yet, I mean,
you heighten insecurity.
You've not provided the evidence. And you want us to keep quiet and say, "Oh no, it was just a loose talk," or maybe, I mean, like somebody was saying, "Oh, it spoke out of frustration," or all of let's just allow it to go. Well, I mean, this is the society, but we have to defend the institution of journalism and media, right? Because we know there are challenges. No one is perfect. Where all of us who practice or journalism or are practicing journalism, there are obvious challenges that we can allude to. Other grammatical issues, sometimes inaccuracies in our reporting. I think I told you one story. Where one of us, we call ourselves investigative reporter, and you publishing a story that you're investigating. You just got a story today,
and they verify.
You didn't verify. Somebody makes
I'll publish it, then the mail talk later.
The mail talk later. All of these things, we are working as a media, and one of the shortcomings of our society as a whole is that we don't invest in the media.
So, Julia, let me ask a question. If a member of the press union from the LBS and he did something and the press union suspends his membership, does the LBS have the responsibility to off air, or how has it been working before in that situation?
Well, the press union can be careful in terms of a sanctioning
mechanism.
Right? The sanctioning mechanism at the union, we do, for instance, impose fines. Suspension is another level. We also tell you to retract your story and offer an apology. And if you are a journalist proper,
you should be easily doing that.
No, if you are a journalist proper, and the National Media Council, the ethical arm of the body, tells you to retract a story,
it shouldn't be a problem.
And
it's a slap in your face.
Okay, that's the point. I mean, it should not be a problem, but some journalists have a
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. So immediately I publish, I'll go publicly
and say sorry.
Gibson Jerry, who are very critical, to say, the person has erred. And when the press union takes a position on you, it goes global.
It goes global. It is very effective.
Sometimes when you apply for outside travel, foreign travels to certain embassies, they can do research on you. So,
Oh, yeah.
Julius Kanumba. Let's see who are Julius that wants to go.
Yeah, and they see
to
that,
this
oh,
country.
this man.
And they see that you are unethical.
Yeah.
That you are engaged in blackmailing.
Oh, my God.
Well, sometimes they'll tell you, say, I'm sorry.
And you get a
engaging.
website now. Everything
yes.
everything electronic now.
Everything electronic. So as soon as you tell the name of a person, thank God, I mean, I know it's in the conversation that is very scary that we have AR, for example. AR, when I tell Julius Kanumba name
it
AR,
tells you everything.
it summarizes everything about me. Factual. And AI is only summarizing what is already published.
But it's already there.
So the press union sanctioning mechanism is very strong, and we've had instances recently. Some journalists appear before the council, and they said they published a story out of emotions, out of anger, right? And
Journalists can be angry at a published
and
story.
they were made by the council to go back, retract, and apologize.
And yeah, saying you were
And
angry,
they
you
comply
publish it, go ahead, do it.
Because if you don't do it, the press union will sanction you further. We've had instances where some people who felt that the sanctioning mechanism at the PUI was not strong, and the press union named these people as being unethical, unprofessional. Guess what? Anywhere you go, you call your name. Say, the man here.
I remember press union say that.
Oh, the press union say the person is suspended. But we don't want a scenario where your rights to expression
it's trampled.
Yeah, it's trampled upon. So that is why I would not necessarily agree with you 100% that if an employee of a specific media entity errs, and that employee realizes that they've erred, and the press union takes an action, then the station
should take him off air
and don't broadcast. But the station can institute some disciplinary procedures, including maybe telling him to rest a bit.
Well, what I was thinking,
if
we are membership, if Blaze FM registers as an institutional member of Press Union, and a journalist here is a member of the Press Union, and the Press Union takes a stern action, I should be able to buttress the Press Union.
We agree with you, and that is what, when the Press Union is investigating, we don't investigate an individual journalist. It is the institution. So Blaze FM will be held accountable because it is Blaze FM that is paying you. You are not the employer. So if Julius Kanumba sits on their radio, always insulting and engaging in disorderly conduct, right? Blaze FM is also on our obligation because Blaze has a social responsibility to the public and to the ethical core of journalism. So when we are summoning you as Blaze FM, we tell you bring your reporter, bring your journalists, bring our member. You come
and you said with
listen. You listen to the council. The council, the National Media Council, is the ethical body.
Apart from the grievance ethics.
It has been transformed in 2016.
Oh, okay. 2016.
So the Grievance and Ethics Committee.
Now it's transformed to Media Council.
Yes, was first transformed into the Media Complaints Committee, right? And then I think the Press Complaint Committee, Honor Peter Kukwe, right? Later, in 2016, there was a transition into the National Media Council because one of the criticisms...
I was here when the Media Council was formed.
Yes.
But it wasn't doing, what you said it's doing now.
Yes. So what happens is that when it was transformed into the National Media Council, you have a multi-stakeholder approach now. You have 3 persons from the media, 2 persons from the religious community, the Christian faith, which is predominant, and the Islamic or the Muslim faith, which is also has got significant membership. So you have 2. Then you have the government of Liberia.
Has a representation
there. First, it used to be a representation from the legislature, but now that we have the office of the ombudsman, the ethical arm of the government, we felt it was logical and good to have them on the council. So they are on the council. You have people from civil society, they are on the council, the National Civil Society Council. You have women's group, they are also on the council. And then you have people from academia. So it's a combination of different actors nationally to ensure integrity. So when they investigate, they come up with a finding and ruling.
It is heavy.
Case. And then what can also happen, we are working to minimize people just going to court. And because court processes can be expensive for a journalist,
Yes.
for a media institution that is struggling. I mentioned the case to you
Could you sue me? I'll think twice.
Yes, where one journalist, was just taken to court and the lawyer told him just to file the returns.
Just bring 500.
Bring 500.
Is he get
the
money?
person came to the PUL and said, PUL, I am a member of the union, so you have to foot the bill.
Look at that.
Right. So, it's a challenge. So
meanwhile, you were telling the PUL,
So-
I had a public history for, and then the person can talk later.
Yes, so the council engages in alternative dispute resolution. That is the essence of the council. That if Julius Kanumba is accused of not practicing journalism with ethics, if the council investigates and it is established, verified that it was not done properly, we tell Julius Kanumba, this is the person you accuse. Offer a public apology, retract the story. If Julius does not mechanism, then the person can proceed to court. The person can use the fundings from that council to
against
pursue their legal case. And when they are pursuing the legal case, the president
will not
represent the journalist, will represent that particular person, will buttress the prosecution, because you are disrespecting the union, the mechanism that is there. And what is also
good, and I think it's good. And I think it's good.
So that take it the other way. That take it the other way.
The other way, if a journalist is right, we tell you your complaint is not deemed as credible,
and we throw it outside.
We throw it outside. If you disagree, you go anywhere, we will back that journalist. And what has happened that is good for the press union, because the press union since the 1960s has been operating, the press union is recognized nationally and internationally as the body that is self-regulating the media in Liberia. The goodness about that is that the Supreme Court has ruled using the constitution and the core ethics of the PUL.
So established precedent already.
Yes, there's precedent. Check the Rockney CS in the contempt cases at the courts.
The 5 million, cases. 500 million.
There was a time about the injured Tupa where he published.
I was here.
I think Gladys Johnson was on the Supreme Court bench. They called him and he was in a rigmarole, and they said that this publication does not fall in keeping with the core ethics of the PUL, your own core ethics for your profession.
And they use your code of ethics against you.
Yes, the PUL is one of the oldest civic organizations in the country. The National Bar Association, right, the lawyering group is also respected. So the rules that are established by organizations to govern the conduct of the membership or that particular sector, right, the Supreme Court has always gone back and looked at your rules to make rulings and look at other global international standards, right? So that is what makes the press union a unique social institution within Liberia, strong, right? The only thing we need to do is to collectively work, like Blaze FM. How can we work with the owners of Blaze, the editors, the station hierarchy in terms of manager, deputy manager, and the reporters, to have one network that is very strong and will pay our loyalty? We don't have a strong system of dues payment in the PUL. Most of our actions in the union, especially with the issue of solidarity, they normally come in times of crisis, in times of elections, which of course is a limitation on all of us in terms of growing the union. So one of the things we are doing, to which we need your support, because you do speak in US dollars, Gibson Cheru. You talk in US dollars. So we want to.
I do speak in US dollars.
We are working to construct the headquarters. You were here, the issue about the
donation
I know. Turned into a curse for the union. The stigma is still there, but we've been working. We secure some funding, and we are still fundraising. So in the coming months, we will begin the foundation.
Okay.
We want to have our headquarters, Chief. Where we are, we took the place for 11,000 for 2 years, 5,500 every year, right? So if, for instance, we had our own
and that's a lot of money.
That 11,000 will be infused into capacity.
Yes, into capacity building
programs for the union
or materials,
yes.
equipment.
How do we sustain journalism in Liberia? How do we sustain a professional media? We need a sustainability plan. And one of the campaigns to which people like you at the time, perhaps you were against, is to also ensure that the media, through the press union, is included in our national budget. Because the donors' resources we've been receiving...
I agree with that.
They are
for that.
So they're saying that if the PUL is in the budget, will be compromised. No,
not
we mentioned
necessarily.
the issue of the case of the John Security will be in a good relationship. They help the union, for instance. But hey, when it comes to defending and protecting the integrity of journalism, we have to be uncompromising. So we are leading that particular efforts, and we will count on your support. If it is 10,000 that Gibson Cheru, his family, Blaze FM can give the PUL, it will help. We want to construct a 3-story building so that you can rent 1 or 2, and then you have offices for the auxiliaries and the union. And then, I mean, Chief, in Cinco, people paying 30,000, 40,000 to rent, apartment floors.
And that rental will help to bring some money to this.
Capacity building program. One of the lawmakers just recently, this President Pro Tempore of the Senate, she's from Grand Bassa County. She is working to build the capacity of journalists. Whether you're from this FM, this other publication, you love or you don't love her, she wants you to report professionally. You know what she did? She sponsored 9 journalists and some workers from the Senate Press Bureau to go to Nigeria for 6 weeks. When I was in Bassa speaking at or media gathering organized by the sub-chapter of the PUL, because in every county now we have a sub-chapter of the union in our leadership structure. So she said through her office that the press union should nominate 2 persons to go on that trip. That's how we took 1 person from OKFM, right? A female journalist. We took another journalist from Peace FM in Habel, I think it's Lower Magibi, right? And today they are in Nigeria, learning new practices of journalism, getting some cross-cultural experience, right? So they are there and they are doing
that's
good.
A very commendable. It's very commendable.
There are now discussions as to whether we can replicate such a model in Liberia. That the press union can have its own training grounds where people like you, Gibson Cheru, who is well noted for being one of the best writers within journalism, editorial writing, for instance, how to train young minds in terms of editing, gatekeeping, right? How to do investigative journalism. You bring people like in the evening hours or early morning hours, you come, you learn, so that we can improve the quality of journalism within Liberia. Because this is the profession that many of us have chosen. If you ask people who are doing journalism in school, they say, "Oh, I have the passion. I have the passion. I have the passion. I want to work," right? But we need to work to improve the profession. We need to work to build the PUL as a stronger institution. And that's a collective responsibility.
Wow.
Because the media that you left behind, Gibson...
To call a journalist to talk for short time is not possible. He said you were not going to be here for 1 hour. But now we are going 1 hour and... how many? 1 hour, 10 minutes?
Yes.
So I will let you give your final word. What do you like the public to... What you like them to understand about what the press union is doing?
Well, the public in Liberia has
and
been
your party
supportive.
comments.
The public has been supportive of the media. We've not had instances in Liberia where an organized campaign is led to disown or discredit the media, which of course is not good. We've had a lot of support. And what has also happened, because as a result of technologies, you have people contributing to the media now, like the 2 persons who call. In the past, they would just listen to me speaking, not contest or express themselves, right? So, which is good. So the public would like to encourage you to always believe in the work of professional journalists.
I like that part, professional.
That not everyone who is practicing or has a camera is a journalist proper, right? The established institutions that are recognized and accredited keep supporting them. We also like the public to be cooperative with the government because the government is the authority of the state. Despite our own political, affiliations, we have to respect authority, which is very critical. We also want the public to be on the alert. You have to confide in the media. You have to speak to the media on issues confronting our society. The issue of poverty. Just downstairs, you saw what happened. You saw an elderly woman, for instance, struggling to feed her family. You have to do some interventions. How can government come in, right? So my parting comment to all journalists in Liberia, media practitioners, media workers, we say thank you for the job you continue to do.
That's highly to come by.
I mean, it is not easy. Gibson, we've gone from county to county. When we were campaigning for the leadership of the PUL, and even presently, from county to county, some journalists or media workers, they make 1,500 Liberian dollars.
1,000 I worked for almost nearly 8 years just on voluntary basis.
Yeah, voluntary basis.
8 years.
Volunteer. Let me on a volunteer basis.
Wow.
Some work for 5,000 Liberian dollars after 3 months. But the 3 months can turn into 1 year, sometimes 6 months. Some completed zero.
Salary.
Yes, so it is a difficult situation. Yet, these journalists, they go to work
They're committed to their job.
and they do work professionally. So we say thank you for the job that you're doing. Those of us who are in the earning in terms of our profession, we also say thank you for the level of professionalism. Before I came here, I know when you were calling me, I was already down. I was doing one interview, and everyone is concerned about the statements and the pronouncement by the Joint Security through the Inspector General. But what is also clear is that there is a commitment to help the fight against any illicit drugs in the country. That is commendable. So we like to encourage journalists continue to perform your role in keeping with the professional ethical code of standards. The issue of the ABC of journalism, which sometimes we can summarize as being fair, right? Fairness entails that you be fair in your reporting, you be accurate, be impartial and responsible. We owe our loyalty to the profession and to our country. It is very, very essential that we work to ensure Liberia is developed. In 2017, like I was telling you 9 years ago, when we did our survey, there's one thing Liberian journalists believe in: national development. There is no journalist who was born in Liberia and has lived in Liberia, experienced and felt the Liberian conditions,
Yes.
will tell you, say, I am against national development. One thing the journalists were very clear on, they said, if the government has a policy, if the policy is good, we will support it. But if the policy is bad, we will not support it. So when the government comes up with certain pronouncements, it becomes a policy that this government has seen the media now to be a cartel that we have to fight, right? So those are our policy pronouncements, and the President and its membership will not support such a policy pronouncement without a fact. So we are urging again the Joint Security, the government of Liberia, please help us to expose people who are taking money from people who want to destroy our society. Because the international image of Liberia has been on the increase. But the more drugs are found in Liberia, it means that the image will be destroyed. And when people hear that media practitioners
are aiding and abetting the process,
institutions are aiding and abetting this process, it means that we can be trusted. A senior government official who is a veteran of the media, he's been following the developments.
Yeah.
He called last night. The person called and we're discussing. The person said, one time I was traveling to a country. I am a diplomat. And in my passport, I have the journalist, because that's my profession. I mean, in your passport, again, always ask you, what's your profession? If even you are not practicing journalism, but as long as you practice journalism and you know yourself to be in this profession, you say, I put it in my passport. And the profession is journalism, and then I put it as administrator. So they were to meet a president of a certain country. The security said,
journalist?
How can the president of another country, send a journalist to meet our president. It said that he was spy on this delegation. So it was difficult.
Yeah.
So you are just explaining. He said, Julius, that's the essence of the profession.
They are people. They are afraid of journalists.
I lost a contract from AFCON, a sub contract to Arsenal Meta just because I'm a journalist. The late superintendent recommended me to go to AFCON for the contract. Almost 6 months, I was supposed to be making at least $300 to $400. But the Ine guy said, no,
we don't want you journalists.
Yes. So he said it. He said, because this is the profession.
I have journalism in my passport.
Yes.
So it always like that.
It's always. So he was only emphasizing the point that this is the profession we've chosen. Whether we are in government or out of the media, we still love the profession because the profession is very noble. I mean, there is no one in Liberia who is trusted to give information that is factual except journalists.
The professional journalists.
You know, when we're doing fact-checking journalism, there's one quotation. They say no one is paid to tell the truth besides the journalists.
Yeah.
Because even if you go to court, sometimes, when you're working with other people, they say, oh man, the thing you said is not too important.
Yeah.
They want maybe to win the case.
Yeah.
Right? If you go to the police when they're doing investigation, sometimes they will hear the different perspectives.
Yeah.
Right? That's why when the police does an investigation, when they go to court, it can be contested.
Yes.
But journalism is a profession of facts.
Yes.
So we urge all journalists, verify your information. If something is not verified, make sure you state to your audience.
And sometimes it can even be in a rush.
Yes.
Sometimes you just take your time because a story that you own, that you have, the information you have,
Yes.
it's never old until it's published.
It's published.
So you can't say, let me publish it, then the person will respond. I don't know.
You know, we had a situation when I was with Star Radio, wherein we contacted certain agency of the government. Somebody had written an article, in relation to Charles Taylor, linking former president, President Sirleaf at the time, to betraying Charles Taylor. So we were contacting authorities around, Madam Sirleaf for response. So before that response came in, her people around her already wrote rebuttal, challenging the journalists who are asking them questions. Certain radio station already got interviewed. They want to damage the presidency, all sort of a thing. And so we were like thinking, but who are they really referring to?
We didn't carry the story yet.
They not even carry the story, right? So they were preempting while we were going to broadcast. Meanwhile, they were refusing to allow us to have the president's perspective. So at a certain stage, we said, well, we've exhausted other means.
Yeah.
And luckily, they said, oh, no, but what you are asking, the Oma already said it in her book. This child will be great.
Yeah.
So just go read the book. So by the time the book, when they want person how we listen to how we question this.
Sometimes, Julia, I can be surprised that people like Ellen, she's very much savvy with the media. They do these things. I can see how people can change so quickly, my man.
And guess what? When we did the interview, when we played the interview, and they listened to the full text of the interview, right? What we edited and presented to the public, because I think we did the interview for like 34 minutes, and we didn't play it for 4 minutes. So the essential aspects. When they listen to it and the questions that were asked, they say, oh no, we did a fundamental mistake. We think the Omar should have spoken, because what exactly the journalist asking this guy is what the Omar had in mind as her answers. So they came
Julia, I think I enjoyed this interview than the other interviews I've had.
Thank you.
I don't know if because I'm a journalist too, but I want to say really, really thank you very, very much for coming here and clarifying some of these things. And I wish you success and the press union success. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure, and we count on your support as always.
Okay, I'll leave you in the hands of Achise Bob Yene, the man who cleans up after me, so he keeps cleaning up. All right, thank you.
So again, folks, thanks for listening to this